What's good, everybody? It's your boy Kirk Ray Smith. Y'all know what it is. Uh, so do you find it interesting now as a black man, okay? And here's what I find interesting. I'm gonna put this question out there to you guys and other black folks in particular, and even my white brothers and sisters. Try to take a shot at answering this question. But do you find it interesting how the media, certain media, not all media, but just certain media, all media is not the same. All media is not created equal. But if you notice, like the messaging out there that we see about black people, it's kind of like a few different things. So either we're poor, right, uneducated, all of us are catching COVID-19, we're dying, we're destitute, we're being evicted, we are all being killed by cops. Our lives are so hard. We're the worst of the worst. We're uneducated, as I mentioned, inarticulate. Like we're just a mess as a race of people. We have all these problems, right? And we're so bad off, and our lives are horrible. And it's funny how on television, for example, they like to, in articles and different outlets, they like to highlight this, right? That we're struggling and things are so bad for black people. And again, I'm not saying they aren't, because I think life is difficult for a lot of people for a number of different reasons. But my point is that we rarely see black excellence being celebrated. Like there's no balance. So we don't hear a lot about black excellence, black executives doing great things, being successful, turning around businesses, turning around nonprofits, which is very personal to me, excelling as investors, excelling as property investors and commercial success. Like we don't hear a lot about black excellence. And the only time there seems to be any appetite to celebrate black excellence, if it has something to do with sports, right? Some kind of entertainment, or when we die. And when we die, then they want to talk about how great we were. But no one wants to give us our flowers now, culturally. Like as a culture, they don't give us our flowers. So everyone likes to make us seem like we're just the worse off than anybody else, more problems than anybody else. We're sicker than anybody else. We're less healthy than any other race. We the poorest. We're not educated. We don't have the ability to speak with any level of intelligence at all, and all these things. And they like to display that. So you notice when they bring these families on, for example, of these folks who look like me, who suffer at the hands of police, for example, which is horrible. It hurts me. It bothers me. You guys know me. If you follow me at all for years, you know what I do. I mean, pretty consistent, pretty honest, pretty real as far as I'm concerned, pretty authentic. But what they do is they like to bring these families on and you listen to them speak, and they really just try to highlight the inadequacies and the disparities and all these things that we face, which are true. However, it's not just unique to black people. And there's more to us than being sick, being unhealthy, being sad, being uneducated, being poor. Some of us are actually doing well. Not every black child is raised in a single parent home. Some of our children were raised with both parents in the home. We're successful. We have businesses. We're executives. We're presidents. We're CEOs. We're vice presidents. We're business owners. We're smart people. We're intelligent people. Now, all of us are afraid to be killed every day. Every time you walk out the door, there's always a risk you can lose your life. Every time any person walks out the door, that can happen. But there's nothing less about us. And see, people capitalize on that. And we as black people, we buy into it. And you listen to it. And then you let that control the narrative of who we are. And my question is this right? Is this fair? We talk about folks being racist. Well, racism requires power. If you have no power, you can't be racist because your attitude towards a certain group of people you're not in a position to make any decisions to impact those people. So if you just don't like black people, then you just prejudice or bigot or whatever, but you can't be racist because you don't have any power. But racism requires power. So when you have power and you don't like black people and you can use that against them by not giving them jobs or opportunities, that's racist. So we know that. But is it also racist that people in power like to portray us the way that they do every single day? Do y'all ever question that? And it seems like every time there's an election, they like to gin that up. And all you see is how bad and how rough and how difficult it is for us. But there is a such thing as black excellence. You know that? All of us aren't entertainers. All of us don't sing and dance and throw footballs and shoot basketballs. Some of us are really doing great things. There's some incredible black families doing amazing things. And listen, sometimes a single parent home isn't the worst thing, by the way. But at any rate, have you ever thought about that? Is that portraying us the way that they do, is that as equally as racist as somebody hating us and wishing death and demise upon us? Isn't that equally as racist? So that's a question I have for y'all. Watch the video, listen to it all the way through. Hopefully you have. And just think on it for a minute and let me know what y'all thoughts are. 1.